What's happening today, Guardians? We're going to be taking a look at Last Word. That's right, guys. We're going to be diving straight into this weapon. And if you're new to my weapon dive series, fellas, you can always check out my Hawk Moon and my Thorn weapon dives. And what we essentially like to do is really dive deep into the weapon, really look at where on the maps it works great at and how effective each one of these weapons are. We really take it really far, guys. I mean, I load myself out with a number of these weapons, and I only do dives on weapons that I truly feel comfortable about. Fellas, before we get started, man, if you could slap that like button, I'd really, man, like to go for 1,000 likes on this video. It helps my channel a bunch, guys. It keeps things flowing, keeps the wife happy too, guys. So if y'all could do that, man, would love it. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at the inside of the weapon. I normally don't do this with my weapon dives because most of the time you already know what's in the weapon. But I really wanted to focus on that, the fanfire. This weapon can be fired quickly and continuously. Despite being able to hold R2 and being able to just lay on it and just let it fanfire like that, I really want to just throw this out here to you guys. I really don't want you to ever full auto Last Word. I want you to always make it a habit to always be tapping Last Word. There's some people out there that you know full autos it, but I can tell you right now, here in year 2, you do not want to do that. Here in year 2, you really want to be tapping it, and you want to make that consistently the only thought process you have when using Last Word. As far as your ballistics go, like I said, if it was year 1, I was always on aggressive ballistics. But here in year 2, you want to leave it on soft ballistics. You really want to you don't want to hurt your range, and of course you don't want to hurt your stability, because this weapon is all about getting those consistent shots. Hip fire, of course, is a nice thing to have on it. It has bonus actually when fired from the hip. Now, where it changed from where it was in year 1 was you actually had bonus damage with that Last Word perk. But here now, it's just improved stability and target acquisition when fired from the hip. There is no longer that bonus damage, so you don't have those issues. Remember, before, even when you would ADS, it would actually hit that bonus damage for you, which was also made Last Word extremely powerful, but we don't have that. And of course, I like to leave mine on perfect balance as well, just to give myself some more stability there. Now, some people like to leave it on single point sling. That just comes down to you and what your preference is. I already find that the weapon already moves very quickly the way it already is, and most weapons, with you going in and out of your ADS, I really don't feel like you need single point sling as much as you would maybe need it on another weapon. So guys, let's go ahead and jump into some gameplay. Okay guys, so this is one of my older clips, and I'm going to go into some of my more recent Rumble games. So notice this right here, throw some scatter grenades, and then I saw the rest of these guys down. Now, what I really want to push here with Last Word, guys, is straight up simple. Last Word differs than any other hand cannon you use, because with a lot of your other hand cannons, you really want to duck and dive between cover and get the peek on somebody and get the shot. Last Word is one of these guns that if you can get them close to you, man, you just go ahead and saw them down. I'm talking about just saw them down. It's a gun that can turn the tide really quickly. I don't know if I got any League of Legends fans up in here, but man, what's the W button on Irelia? I know I might be losing some of the guys here. Anyways, it's one of those things that can turn the tide of a fight, is what I'm saying. Last Word has that ability that it can turn the tide of any 1v1 situation, and that's what I really like about it. The target acquisition is great. Disregard the stats. Everything, that's one thing about Last Word. I see a lot of people get on there and say, man, Last Word looks like garbage. You can't look at the stats for this weapon. That's the thing about Last Word. It's on a whole new, it's exotic. It's truly an exotic. It fits the description of what it's supposed to be. But like I said, it differs from other hand cannons because you would want to open up completely with your enemy and fully get a completely openness. See, I'm not trying to duck between cover, get behind cover or anything. I want to go ahead and square up with that guy. So now, guys, let's go ahead and jump into, I guess, how my fingers work. I tend to do that for some reason. Alright guys, so I like to show my hands, my fingers, everything that's going on, and it kind of gives you an idea of how it works. I really want to show you the fact that I always tend to tap. As you you see, last word really thrives in shotgun areas, man. You always want to have backpedaling on your mind. Now, here's something that you really want to keep in tune about last word. If you don't get those first initial shots, I suggest backing out of the gunfight. The initial bonus accuracy that you have with long range hand cannons, as soon as you start to miss those shots, you need to back out of that and then come at them again, or at least back out of your ADS and then come at them again. That's what I really want to stress a lot to you. Again, you got all these Titans around here that are really trying to push in. Now, this is something right here I really want to show you. So this guy's coming in, right? He's going to start to shoulder charge around or move around, and he's trying to get close to me, as you can see right here. Now, notice how I kind of come out of my ADS. I come out of my sights, and I let the where it hit fire, that accuracy take effect. I want to. It's as if when you do that, it centers yourself right back on him. And that's one thing that last word really has going for it. As you can see many times in my clips, you'll notice me going in and out of my ADS, and it's not because I'm doing that by accident. It's because I'm actually doing that purposely. You can see with my hands there, because in doing so, you're allowing yourself to get that field of vision by not being ADS in, of course, and you're also allowing yourself to square back up with your enemy to allow you to tag them down. And of course, the hip fire damage to begin with is really tagging them, so you don't have to go in for that precision shot just quite yet. Now, a lot of people really stress that triple tapping is extremely important with last word. My thing is, it's always best to play it on the safe side. It's best to just go in and start chest shotting, and as you rise up, you can go ahead and headshot. And so, I mean, you know, you can, if you feel really comfortable, go ahead and headshot, but you're also leaving yourself open, because if he moves, if he dives around or anything, especially if he's rushing you down, it's just best to just go ahead and lay straight into him and just go ahead and make sure you're just hitting your shots. I wouldn't worry about just always being pinpoint accuracy. A lot of your hand cannons, your other hand cannons, you know, you always want to be as accurate as possible and land those shots and duck around cover. Again, last word is one of those guns you just want to square up with them and go ahead and let loose hell upon them. Guys, I really want to conclude this weapon dive with the most important thing about the last word. And it's not weapon skill, it's not taming it or getting it down and mastering the 3-tap or anything like that a lot of people tend to really point at. It's simply positioning yourself on the map. That's all it comes down to. You know, when you're playing a map that's close quarters, you always want to make sure you're rounding your corners. Your last word, man, you've got the deadliest weapon in close range proximity, man, and you will always be able to gun down those shotties. But here's the thing, you will never be able to gun down a shotty if you don't round your corners. Always round your corners and have a swivel on your head, but round your corners and think like a shotgunner would. Think, if this shotgunner's coming at me, how is he gonna, you know, come at me? What is his point of attack? And by doing so, you need to go ahead and just step back from where you would attack at. And I can promise you, when you bait them in, dude, that's the thing about last word. When you bait them in and positioning yourself, you will always gun them down. But it's not just in shoddy fights and dealing with shotgun warriors, it's also in your mid-range fights. A lot of your maps that are, especially in 6s, when you're dealing in the mid-range level to long-range level, last word really has a hard time dealing with enemies. And so I want you to recognize that it has definite limitations to it, but at the same token, you can still use it effectively if you position yourself well on the map. So always be getting closer to the enemy and kind of just minimizing the distance between you and them in order to get the most out of the last word. So again, like I said, guys, that's the most important aspect about the last word. You learn to position yourself on the map, and you start thinking about the psychology of it and thinking about what your enemy's next move is. And a lot of people claim that's the case with every weapon, but if you do that with last word and you get that down, you will win 9 out of 10 of your gunfights with the last word if you simply do that and learn to position yourself correctly along the map. I cannot tell you how many times I've run up to people that are gods with the last word, and it's not that they got good weapon skill, which they did, but also the fact they learned how to position themselves correctly around the map. Guys, thanks so much for coming and watching. I appreciate it. Hope you fellas are doing okay. Hope trials is going good for y'all this weekend. And man, I'm on vacation right now and can't wait to get back. I can promise you that. All right, guys, I'll catch y'all later.